time to catch y'all up on the Lexus. So it's been a few weeks here and a few thousand miles already. Since I bought it, I got it tinted the other day. Went with the highest end stuff my buddy's shop had, which is the Dub IR film, which is supposed to be really good for heat rejection, which is definitely needed with that black leather interior. So super happy with it so far. It made the car look so much cleaner. Just washed it and then it rained last night, but got the wheels all cleaned up. It looked really good with the chrome wheels all cleaned up. Of course, got my Pure All oil in this thing now, and after over 2,000 miles with that oil, it still looks clean. So super happy with that. Bunch of little projects I'm about to tackle. I did clear side markers, and then I've got a kit. I'm going to restore the headlights and fog lights. These stock horns are all janky and kind of worn out, so I picked up, I use these Hella trumpets on like every car, including the Civic, but I usually use their red ones, but I found out they have a special edition chrome, so we're going to swap those in. Have some nice loud horns for the car there. I picked up this white one. I got a crazy deal on it because the left rear wheel bearing is shot, like badly. Picked it up in Castle Rock, drove it down. It's been sitting here ever since. Gonna throw a windshield in it, do some oil change, fluid, stuff like that, get a new wheel bearing in it, and I was gonna sell it. But on the drive down from Castle Rock, I realized the suspension is completely gone. Every time you hit a bump at speed, it doesn't just rock forward and backwards, it doesn't just bounce, it starts getting this oscillation that makes it really sketchy to drive, actually. So I need a suspension for this car. So I was looking, I was originally just going to get the KYB, decent quality, shock portions, swap my hats and springs over and run with that. But I really do want a nice suspension for the black car, and I'd love the ability to drop that wheel gap down a little bit. So I did some more research and I found a super good deal on the suspension that I really wanted. Now, yeah, they're not the highest quality, it's not a full airbag suspension, but I have a few reasons for doing what I did. So the suspension I picked up, all the reviews bash on them because they're too soft. Everybody wants the K Sports, the BC Racing, the stiff feel, for cornering and all that. This car's never going to be a track car. It's never going to be a handling monster. I want it to be comfortable, just at a lower ride height. So I was like, perfect, this is exactly what I want. The thing people aren't enjoying, that's precisely what I want for this car. Additionally, I do want the ability to put some air cups on this car later. That way I can sit the ride height lower, and then you can raise it 2 inches with the air cups to make it over speed bumps and driveways, and then drop her back down to your preferred ride height. So that's what I want to do in the future when I have a little more spending money. So what I picked up are the Megan Racings. So I already opened it obviously, but I'll just kind of show you guys. Comes with a little parts breakdown. Of course, comes with those stickers because you've got to have stickers. Set those over here. So they are, it's adjustable damper. They're height adjustable, damper adjustable, stiffness adjustable, all that good stuff you want in a nice coil. So, see, they're really, I really love the color of these things, honestly. Once I got to see them, this blue is super good looking. So they've got the adjustment knob on top. So those are going to be going into the Lexus. I'm going to go ahead and get a start on that today. Hopefully I finish it. Once that's done, then this suspension is going to go into the white car because this suspension's good. It feels great. So that's going to get swapped in the white car. I'm going to jump in, tackle that. The suspension, the front setup on these, super basic, just bolts in the top. You got your upper control arm, lower. So one bolt in the lower for the strut, 3 bolts up top. Nothing else is even attached to them. So this should be super simple. This is actually the first time I've had the wheels off this thing, so I was kind of happy. I was looking like the brakes are in good shape, and they've always felt good, but I've got good pad life on them. Yeah, it's all looking pretty good, pretty clean. We're gonna start swapping these out. So I'll show you what I had to do to get it all the way out. This bottom suspension's pretty convinced to not move. I've already also realized my power steering boot is torn and full of fluid, so now I know where some of my fluid's been going. So probably gonna have to do a steering rack and a steering pump in the near future, but the pump's an aftermarket. It howls a little bit, so it's gonna need replaced at some point. It leaks a little bit. Really, I need a full new power steering system. I need the pump, the lines, and a rack, I think, but that's a lot of money, so we're just gonna keep driving it because it drives fine for now. But anyway, to get this out, there's a bolt up here, there's a bolt here. I just took those out so I wouldn't stretch the ABS cable, and then I just unbolted the upper arm here, and that gave me enough play to get the strut assembly out. Actual working time took me like 10-15 minutes to have this out. So that's that. I'm gonna slap the new one in, show you guys what that looks like, then we'll move over to the other side. Here's the old strut, and here is the new. It's so pretty. So pretty. Oh, let me show you guys this. So me and a buddy did get to go spectate the Grid Life Alpine Horizon Festival, which was epic. I can't wait for next year. It was so much fun. They had it down at Pikes Peak International Raceway, which is only like half an hour from me, so I was so stoked the other week, a couple weeks ago now. Yeah, got to go down there, did the whole VIP pass, got the little goodie bag, and you know, all that good stuff. I was there all 3 days. I missed the Thursday like setup day, but I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was such a blast. But just side note, I thought that was pretty dope. So this was part of the little VIP goodie bag, is this Grid Life key tag, and I was just looking. It's not quite, but it's super close, like almost identical, matches the new suspension color. So that hangs on my Lexus key already, so it just felt right, you know. So to adjust ride height with these, you have to loosen this ring, and then you spin this whole body up on the threading, and then you tighten this back down to lock it into place. So to access the rear strut upper bolts, you got to pull the rear seat. So you just pop out the bottom portion of the seat, then there's 6 bolts, and then you pull out the top portion of the seat, and then you can actually see the top cap there. It'd be easier if I could remove the deck lid, but to remove the deck lid, you gotta remove this entire panel, and I don't want to get into that right now. So this will give me enough room to get those out, but that's what you gotta do to access those inside of the car. So I've got that done. So there's the bottom of the seat. So now that that's out, I'll also show you, this is what I found under the rear seat. A basic tech deck and a little bit of change. So you guys can see, these look like they might even be simpler than the front. So you got the 3 bolts that I got to get to from the inside, which was kind of annoying, but whatever. And then it comes down through the upper control arm to the single bolt on the bottom, which is just over top the axle shaft. I think there's enough room. If I unbolt from the top, take this bolt out, I think I'll be able to just drop it down and pull it out. I don't think I even have to unbolt anything. And when it comes time to do ride height adjustment, I'll probably be able to just unbolt this one, do the ride height adjustment, and I don't think I'll even have to pull my seats back out or actually pull the full strut out. So that actually makes me pretty happy. A better idea of how it actually looks. So this is a front, this is a rear, set for a roughly 3.5 inch drop actually. And that's not going to work with what I want, so I'm actually going to have to go ahead and adjust all of these before I put them in, because I'm really looking for just like a 1 to 1.5 inch drop. I'm going to go ahead, pop these loose, adjust them, cross my fingers. So current status, it dries fine. It's definitely a touch stiffer than I'd hoped for, but I get it. It's a lot more confident in corners, like it just feels flat. It doesn't have that crazy body roll. Here's the thing. So since the fronts and the rears were set for, as I measured it, like a 3.5 inch drop, and that was more than I wanted, I adjusted all four the same amount, like proportionally, up to what I reckoned would be about an inch drop total. Got them all reinstalled, took it around the block, and, well, the fronts, I'll show you, is like perfectly where I wanted it. Like just down on the tire. That is beautiful. I might actually end up raising it up a touch, but we'll see. I really like how that looks. Now the rear, I actually managed to raise like an inch. So the rear is like way in the air now. Let me step back and see if I can show you the whole car. So now it's got this crazy rake where the rear end of the car is way up in the air. So I'm trying to decide if it's gonna rain anymore on me and if I've got time to pull the rears back apart and adjust them down. Yeah, because now I need to get the rear end dropped way back down. I might just tackle that tomorrow morning and drive it as it is tonight. Since it is drivable, it's just goofy looking. Yeah, so that's where it is. I'll keep working on it until it's right, but man, she's looking good. It's coming along. It's coming along. Welcome back to a very dirty Lexus. So when we last left off, the front I was happy with, the back was ridiculous. So the other day I pulled the rear end back apart. I'll kind of show you that's the look we're going for. Now I pulled the back apart, I dropped the springs another inch on Saturday morning, and I'm basically back down to factory ride height. So today I'm going to go ahead, pull it back apart, and drop the springs another inch. I think that's going to put me right where I want it to be, but we'll see how it looks once I do that. I'm still super happy with where the fronts are setting, but yeah, the rear's still got to come down because the fronts are sitting roughly an inch lower, and that's basically exactly where I want to pull a car. So, tear it apart again, which thankfully is pretty quick, and we'll see how she looks when I drop it back down. Here's now how. So here is how it sits now. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Need a few more minor tweaks, but overall, I think that is looking good. The other tweaks I have to do, I have to get the lower control arm bushings are on their way, should be here in a couple days. And then once those are in, I'm gonna take it to like an empty parking lot, park it, let it sit for a while, so the suspension is all settled on flat ground. Then I'm gonna remeasure at all four fenders to get ride height, and then if I need to make any additional just tweaks so that it sits properly, perfectly level, I will make those. But I am liking how it looks so far. So once those bushings get here, we'll continue, but I'll probably wrap this one up here. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the VIP content, and we'll show you how much fun it is to replace the bushing soon.